What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. That's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, I'm trying to find a new game to play. I'm kind of hanging around, not really sure what to attack on the backlog. I'm playing a lot of Battlefield.
Yeah, we're kind of in that one right now, aren't we? That one's, yeah, it's kind of hitting a little bit. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, pay attention for some nice rocket kills this week.
That's right, absolutely. Dude, what everybody should be paying attention to is us noon live every day over on Twitch and YouTube at the official ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. An interesting show today, Scott. Xbox is looking to bring Call of Duty to another streaming, no, wait, 2 more streaming platforms. Horizon's DLC, Burning Shores, on PS4 isn't holding back the PS5 version for players. And Hogwarts Legacy sales aren't done yet. Dude, they're just popping off.
I'm still not at the end of that game.
No, I'm still...
You know what? That's what I got to return to. That's what I'm going to play.
There you go. That's where you head next. You got to finish that off. We got to get that one finished and tucked away. I think it's kind of... I was talking to Kyle last night, and he was back on it too. I'm like, man, it's funny you jump back into these games after we've been away for so long, like 2 weeks, dude. I'm betting I'm at least 2 weeks out, right? So I've just been busy on other things, and then you come back, you go, okay, what am I doing?
Where am I?
Yeah, you get that sense of that feeling, right?
Oh, Valheim is going to add to that list as well.
I was going to bring it up. Yeah, it's there. I got my brother downloaded it. He was actually downloaded in the same day. Congrats to him and his...
Wow.
I know. Oh, yeah, his gerbil run internet. Dude, let's get into... Microsoft will bring Xbox, PC games, and Call of Duty to cloud gaming provider Boosteroid. And there's another tie into this article as well, because they're not done there. Dude, this is Christopher Drang over at Game Informer. Microsoft has signed another 10-year deal to take its PC games to a cloud streaming service other than its own. Independent cloud game provider Boosteroid will also receive Activision Blizzard titles such as Call of Duty, should the deal go through. It follows a similar agreement with NVIDIA GeForce Now. Boosteroid has 4 million users globally and is similar to NVIDIA in that game streaming titles they already own. So it could offer cloud and gaming services via the browser and dedicated apps, including the Windows, Linux, Android TV, and Mac OS. It has also announced plans for additional cloud gaming services through Mac, Chromebook, Android set-top boxes, and LG TVs. Its research and development teams are based in Ukraine, and 2 of its offices are in how is that, Scott?
Is it Kharkiv? Yeah, Kharkiv.
Okay. Have been damaged by missile attacks from Russian forces. Boosteroid services is available in Ukraine, US, UK, and across the European Union. Dude, we're not done here, because not only are they working with them, but they're also looking to do some other stuff as well. And that's the biggest thing for where they're kind of looking to take things next. Microsoft announces yet another 10-year deal with firm behind Switch Cloud games. Andy Robinson over at VGC had this to pipe in with. Microsoft has announced yet another 10-year agreement as it attempts to allay regulator concerns around the proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. On Wednesday, the Xbox owner announced it had signed a 10-year deal to stream Xbox PC games aligned with the Activision Blizzard deal, of course, and now they go with the Japanese cloud gaming company Ubisoft, who are notably known right now, Scott, for streaming, helping stream Hitman, Hitman 3, Control, Resident Evil Village, and Guardians of the Galaxy on the Switch.
Okay.
Interesting. See how this kind of all falls into place, where they're going with it all. And dude, it's one of those things for me, as this kind of keeps going along and further down the rabbit hole, and Microsoft is going everywhere. At this point, dude, Microsoft is here. Cloud streaming for you for Call of Duty. Cloud streaming for you, and cloud streaming for you. Call of Duty. Do you remember the OG Xbox One? Call of Duty. We're back. Dude, it is back. It is on clouds everywhere except for PlayStation. Because if you're a PlayStation fan, you got to be sitting on the fence going, what is going on with PlayStation? Why don't they want to kind of get into this deal? Xbox is bringing it everywhere. Xbox has stated that they'll put it on PlayStation Plus day one. So now if you're a PlayStation gamer, dude, you're like, yo, I don't have to pay for COD at all because it's coming on Plus.
It might really be beneficial for you to watch this deal go through. It's become such a bar fight, though, hasn't it? It's really, we're pulling in names from Japan now and the European Union. This has just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's funny because the whole holdup to me, the reason this situation began, it was for fears of a monopoly. Microsoft is getting too big. They're suppressing competition.
Yep.
Well, it seems almost as if that is more true now than it was when this began.
It's just they are going in as many cloud streaming services around the world as they possibly can to say to the regulators, hey, look, like, we aren't looking to close off anybody. We want this to be absolutely everywhere. So they're signing all these deals, providing the Activision Blizzard deal goes through. Call of Duty then, dude, not only is Call of Duty the biggest game and people are playing it everywhere, they're now going to be able to cloud stream it everywhere as well. How well it runs, though, Scott, on the cloud is yet to be determined in some circumstances, right? Just depends on how good your internet runs, I think, is the other thing you have to take into account. But Xbox looking to play nice, PlayStation going, we still want the ball in our court, and we don't want to give them the opportunity to do all this. If you're on the regulator's board, Scott, what are you looking at right now for a standpoint of whether or not this decision goes through? Do you want to give it to Xbox, who looks like, from the outside in, from our perspective, dude, they just want to go everywhere with the game. They're not looking like they're going to hold it back in 10 years, right? This is just a 10-year deal. This isn't a lifetime deal. 10 years, will blink by in an eye, right? Like it's just poof, and it's there goes another 10 years. It's amazing how fast time can fly. However, a 10-year deal, dude, a lot can change in 10 years as well.
Yeah, oh, it's just a ginormous situation. I wish there were some sort of industry expertise that you could call into this field, but I don't believe they exist in this specific industry without going to Microsoft itself, PlayStation itself.
Yeah. But if you're a gamer, you got to be thinking, man, Call of Duty's everywhere. I can pick and choose wherever I want to play it. Maybe not be able to play it on PlayStation because PlayStation is the one who's holding this deal back, right? It's not Xbox. It's not Activision. It's PlayStation going, we don't want this deal to go through. We still want to be able to have all the rights and this, that, and the other for when it comes to playing Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Yeah, see, PlayStation really enjoys the money that they throw at developers to keep it exclusive on PlayStation. They just don't want that situation to happen on the other foot now. Well, and there's only one place that you can't stream. If this all goes through, it seems that even Switch could get Call of Duty through cloud service. That was one of the options. So it seems there's only one place you cannot play it anymore, and that's Google Stadia. If Google Stadia had held on,
can you imagine
another 6 months?
Yeah. Oh man, it's funny. I was just in a meeting yesterday afternoon, and we were talking about Stadia. Yeah, it's one of those things, dude. I'll never forget it, right? It's just one of those. Here's the thing. Now I'm looking at it, going, if I am PlayStation and all these deals that Microsoft are making, is this about to backfire on PlayStation?
I think it already has. In my opinion, of just the way people regard PlayStation, Jim Ryan, just these kind of names have been brought up in a negative light over this whole situation.
Absolutely. But yeah, the more and more I look into this, it seems like it's starting to then go on the other side of PlayStation and kind of really start to backfire. And they're going to start losing some of their gaming audience, possibly, just because they're not looking to bring what seems like the best interest for gamers from a gaming perspective. If they want what's best for us for playing Call of Duty on PlayStation, take the deal with Xbox. You get it on PlayStation Plus, and away we go. But if they say no to all this deal, then all of a sudden it goes through. We'll say Activision Blizzard deal goes down. Xbox gets it. PlayStation still argues all the way to the top and says, no, I don't want to do this. Deal still happens, Scott. Why doesn't Xbox then go, okay, fine. You're the only one that didn't want to play nice. Everybody else we've signed this deal with, except for you, so you no longer get Call of Duty.
Well, that is a possibility. And that's how I would handle it if it were a family situation.
Yeah, but
we tried to make a deal.
Yeah, and you just didn't want to play nice. But all these other, like even the Switch is going to get Call of Duty. So if the Switch can get Call of Duty, why shouldn't it be on PlayStation? Xbox wants to play nice. Man, it's so interesting to sit back and watch. But dude, I'm tired of watching. I want to know more. I want to know more about Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, because it is just around the corner, my friend. Game director on how PS4 isn't holding back on PS5 anymore. Connor McCarr over at VG247 had this to say. Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores game director Mataj has spoken about the technical. Oh, dude, I heard my headset just beep. Hang on, I gotta plug it in. Scott, I'm going down, buddy. I'm going down.
Oh no, battery low.
All right, I'm still alive. I'm still good to go. The technical prowess of PS5 and the benefits not having to optimize for the PS4 in a recent PlayStation blog post interview. Burning Shores, the PS5 exclusive, appears to have allowed the team at Guerrilla Games to make the most out of the hardware available. Something that dude, I had his name and I'm just not quite 100% sure on it, right? I think it's Mataj. Mataj? I want to say the J silent. Matai? Maybe that's, I bet you that's it. Yeah. Something which Matai states allowed them to create a stunning post-apocalyptic version of Los Angeles. We're in a whole new region. Dude, I can't wait to get into Burning Shores. But on Horizon Forbidden West, everything we added or increased was something we need to have a plan around how to optimize for PS4 as well. Matai wrote. when asked about the team at Guerrilla Games had made use of the PS5's power during development. On Burning Shores, since it was just a focus on PS5, we've been able to charge forward, and we're really excited about what we've been able to pull off in creating this stunning post-apocalyptic version of Los Angeles. He continues, another notable one is the particular battle scene that requires a lot of memory and processing power. To achieve this grand vision, both technically and creatively, we definitely were thankful for the many advantages that the PS5 hardware brings. Scott, we talk about this all the time. The fact that last generation, current generation, and that transition, and we're starting to see that transition follow more onto the new gen systems. Dude, we are 4 years into, believe it or not, of the latest hardware.
Is it 4 or is it 3? That's insane to me.
I heard it was 4, so I'm pretty close.
I bought my Series X in 2020.
2020? 2020.
Right at the end.
All right, so we're 3 years. Oh, hang on, PS5 release date. I'm just double checking here. Yeah, it was 2020. So we're 3 years now, right? So we're starting to see that switch over. And that's the biggest thing, because everything's getting held back with last generation. We talk about this all the time with the Switch and how it's holding its developers back. Here we are with Guerrilla saying they're going, yeah, this is great. We're only on PS5. Burning Shores, not going to PS4, right? They just focused on PS5. Here it comes. They're able to then boost up everything from a creative standpoint as well. I think that's the biggest takeaway, Scott, is that it's coming in from a creative take on how this allows them a little bit more freedom to create the vision that they oversee for the latest DLC with Horizon Forbidden West in Burning Shores.
So
that
sounds
awesome.
Sounds like there's one particular battle scene that they mentioned here. That has my interest.
Dude,
how much RAM do you need to render a huge amount of these creatures?
Yeah, it's long overdue that I think we're starting to get over now, this hump of we kind of need to leave PS4 behind. We need to leave the Xbox One X behind. We're now into the Series X. We're now into the PS5, and let the developers focus on the newest hardware and allow them to push us and the entertainment that we love so much in video games to that next forefront.
Yeah, it feels like it was either too early and we didn't really need that hardware upgrade,
yeah,
or we better start making the transition into the new generation, because what's going to happen in 3 years? It's already gone by so quickly. But we get 3 years down the road. Are we going to hit PlayStation 6? But the PS4 is still being supported? That would be completely alien.
No, absolutely. Later on the blog post, Matai writes at length about overall improvements in quality in Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, thanks to entirely to the several technical advancements available with the latest Sony console. Quote, on PS5, Horizon Forbidden West base game runs at a higher resolution and at a higher frame rate than PS4, and assets are more detailed, which makes the overall quality much better. There is also a special lighting setup for Aloy that will normally allow display during cinematics. But is actively on the PS5 at all times. So there's just little tricks that they're using now that they've had to kind of downscale in the past and then bring it over to the PS5, which are just always on, Scott, right? Again, power, right? Power improves creativity. It improves freedom to make the game the vision that you want, and it just keeps going. This is why we keep iterating. Here's the other thing too, Scott. I don't know if you caught wind of this, but there's rumors of, yo, what's up there, Nate? There's rumors of a PS5 Pro in development.
Yeah, I have heard just rumor of that. People discussing whether it's too soon for that, or does it make sense?
Yeah, it's
I think it's a little bit too soon, but is this PlayStation trying to match the dual model idea of Xbox? You know, you have the S and the X, and one sells more just because there's variants.
No, absolutely, right? So there's opportunity here to sell more systems. I think if we get into PS5 Pro, do we have the hardware? Like, is that chip still a problem? Is this still a problem? Is that problem solved for supply and demand? Are we able to get into different pieces then to build out the new system that we aren't being in a shortage and able to produce more for PlayStation? Maybe that's the other side of it too, right? There could be two ways of looking at that. I wonder.
Yeah, it could be more of an efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you look at when we talk about like PS4 and PS4 Pro and Xbox One and Xbox One X, there was a leap in graphical fidelity, right? We had 1080 to 4K. what do we get then moving in from PS5 to PS5 Pro? We're already
I
at
think of it
4K.
as I think of it in terms of 360. There's a 360 Model S, 360 Model N, I believe it was
Oh
eventually.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's so many different. I've owned 3 different kinds of Xbox 360s,
Sure.
and they were all identical, I believe, under the hood.
Yeah.
It was just as time went on, the manufacturing processes got easier, better to do it with more efficient materials and that kind of thing.
The PS3 did the same thing, right? You get the PS3, you get the PS2, the PS2 Slim, the PS3 Slim, the George
The
Foreman
George
grill.
Foreman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. There's so many different things there, but I don't know. Whatever
I'll never
helps
forget that
sell.
Foreman grill.
I think. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody will.
Oh, I was knee deep in the console wars at that time. That was a great video.
I'm sure it was. Dude, we get into another one here with Hogwarts Legacy has already topped Elden Ring's lifetime sales in the UK. Tom Ivan over at, I'm guessing VGC would be my go-to.
I believe so.
Yeah. Sales of Hogwarts Legacy have already topped the lifetime sales of Elden Ring in the UK. Warner's game took just 5 weeks to outsell digital and physical last year's fantasy blockbuster Elden Ring, which has gone on to sell 20 million copies since its release in February 2022. Only FIFA 2023, Modern Warfare 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga outsold Elden Ring in the UK last year. The Hogwarts Legacy will also surpass sales for the Lego game by the end of this week, according to GamesIndustry.biz. Hogwarts Legacy sold over 12 million copies and raked in $850 million in sales globally in the first 2 weeks following its release on February 10th, making it publisher Warner's biggest launch ever. Scott, don't forget, dude, it's still not out on PS4 and Xbox One. That is still to come.
And this only includes digital sales, as far as I understand.
Yeah. So here we go again, dude. It's a juggernaut of a game. We saw a lot of backlash, obviously, with things going on within this game. Not because of the game, but because of the founder. And the gamers are like, we just want to play a cool game. And I think that's paid off, right? I think all said and done, everybody just enjoyed what they played because it's a good game. If it's a good game sells. So, and here we go.
Yeah.
DLC.
Oh, this is the home turf as well. You gotta keep in mind,
Yes.
Rowling comes from the UK. Makes a little bit more sense that way.
It does. I wonder if that does have some kind of way into here at all. But it's not going to be done anytime soon. I wonder if it's going to be like that, Scott. Every time you see the charts, Grand Theft Auto's there. Every time you see the charts, Hogwarts Legacy.
Hey, yeah, I was just out with the old in with the new now. Skyrim, I notice, has been bucked off of this list.
You're right. Finally, after all those time,
Took a decade.
Yeah. Dude, one's going to make the list here shortly is Diablo 4, but there's no plans for a Game Pass, says the series lead. Jordan Midler over at VGC, Rod Ferguson, general manager of the Diablo franchise at Blizzard, took to Twitter to state that a Game Pass appearance for the game isn't in the works at the moment. Quote, "It's awesome seeing the excitement around Diablo 4's beta," end quote, wrote the veteran developer who has previously worked on the Gears of War and Shadow Complex games. Dude, Shadow Complex, there's a shout out. Quote,
I've never played Shadow Complex.
Oh, seriously, really? Oh, man.
Yeah.
With your vast library, Scott, and that gamer score, I would have expected that to be on there. Now I'm disappointed. You're not a gamer.
If it doesn't have achievements, I might have missed it, unfortunately.
That's just a throwback to last week. And quote, "We've been getting some questions about Diablo 4 on Game Pass, and I want to let you know we have no plans for that," end quote. Questions about Diablo 4 inclusion on Game Pass have been looming as Microsoft's proposed Activision Blizzard deal, right? So as of right now, nothing. Scott, in the future, though, that can completely change.
Yeah, I've seen it kind of reiterated a few times. Are they going to bring all the Blizzard Activision stuff to Game Pass? Will they not? And I'm not sure if there's a solid, definitive answer yet.
Fair enough. I think time will tell. Speaking of time, Scott, Tron Identity gets its release time. Let's get into it because it's going to be here very soon. Wesley LeBlanc over at Game Informer, Bethel Games released a new trailer for Tron Identity. Dude, I like Bethel Games. They make some cool stuff, which features official gameplay and an April 11th launch date for both the Switch and PC. releases for the upcoming game. Tron Identity takes place in a world where Flynn created an arc where Flynn created a second grid for them to go to, promising that he'd come back. So there you go. We can check that one out. Have you seen anything on this one yet?
No, I haven't seen on this specific
man.
one. I'm trying to remember as hard as I can Tron 2. Because that movie does exist. Did you see that?
No, I never watched any of the Tron movies.
Oh, neither one.
No.
Wow.
I know.
Well, they are quite good.
Yeah. Oh, that's no big surprise there. Dude, more release dates are on the way as well. System Shock Remakes launches in May. Night Dive Studios' long-awaited remake of System Shock finally has a release date. At least for PC, anyways. The reimagined classic arrives on May 30th, thanks to Marcus Stewart over at Game Informer for filling us in on that. Scott, we do have a couple other things, though, I want you to get to real quick. What do you got?
We have an announcement for Ascent of Ashes. After a war with mysterious alien forces, Earth's remaining survivors have taken up arms to defend themselves on a new and entirely unknown planet. Players are tasked with building up a base, fighting raiders and aliens, taming beasts, and more, all while trying to survive against this harsh new environment.
That's cool.
I've not seen Ascent of Ashes. I'm curious, though.
It just came in. We might be getting an interview with the dev team, so we'll see how that one goes.
Oh,
yeah, I'm excited.
Very interesting.
It looks really cool.
There is more information on Citizen Sleeper. It is finally getting a PlayStation release on March 31st. PlayStation blog post says that the game will launch with all of its DLC on PlayStation, including Episode 1, Flux, Episode 2, Refuge, and the upcoming Episode 3, Purge.
Nice. Dude, that's cool. What else just came to Plus? There's something else I just noted the other day. I was like, oh, that's on Plus now too? Huh. I'm going to have to scrape the back
I've been
of my
seeing
mind.
a lot of those announcements too, and I'm going like,
Been a
oh,
lot
wow.
lately. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Meet Your Maker from our friends over at Behavior Interactive. Meet Your Maker is coming to Plus in April. So, sweet. That was cool.
I've not checked that one out neither. I'm curious, though.
Man, you need to get a PS5, I'm telling you.
I do.
Keep bringing
We do
it.
have one full release today, and that is Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, and that's on PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles.
Wilson! Nope, that's a different thing. Scott, dude, just like that. That'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, this is ITG, where we bring you the hottest in gaming news each and every day, Monday to Friday, over on Twitch and YouTube at the official ITG, where you can join us live. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.